Yo, what's going on, everyone, and welcome to the DLloyd NBA podcast, available both on iTunes as well as my YouTube channel at DLloyd NBA. We're going to be going over all the latest NBA news and rumors. Today is Friday, August 11th. I am, of course, your host, DLloyd. We have a pretty good show for you guys today. A lot of things did go down in the NBA last night. So, Tony Parker, he announced how long he should be out in his timetable for return. Anthony Davis, he's been reassured by the New Orleans Pelicans that he won't be traded. The NBA also released the opening schedule as well as Christmas Day games. But the first thing that we're going to talk about here today is Carmelo Anthony. Now, according to Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN, the New York Knicks and the Houston Rockets, they are re-engaging in trade talks for Carmelo Anthony. Now, they talked a couple of weeks ago, but then since new management took over for the New York Knicks, they put everything on pause, and the Knicks actually try to persuade Carmelo Anthony to stay, but he's definitely had his heart set on leaving New York. You heard rumors of the Cleveland Cavaliers at first, and then you also heard some rumors of the New Orleans Pelicans, and you heard some rumors of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Carmelo Anthony already came out and pretty much shot down any chances of him going to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The whole organization has been a mess this entire offseason. It looks like he's no longer interested in the OKC Thunder. And then Carmelo Anthony, he also said he would not waive his no-trade clause to join the New Orleans Pelicans, which means the only team that Carmelo Anthony is willing to waive his no-trade clause and get traded to is the Houston Rockets. Now, they went down this road already. The Knicks want more than what the Houston Rockets are willing to give up. We do know Ryan Anderson is on the table, but the Knicks want way more than that. So it looks like a third team is going to be in play at some point to try to help facilitate this trade. Now, the Houston Rockets are saying that they are willing to wait even as much as up to the NBA trade deadline to trade for Carmelo Anthony. Now, the Houston Rockets, they improved their roster a ton this offseason, especially making the big move of being able to grab Chris Paul. And the Rockets are really just wanting Carmelo Anthony for the playoffs. They should be able to make the playoffs without Carmelo Anthony. So if they wait, they should be able to get Melo at a cheaper price. And that is one of their strategies that they're going to try to go ahead and employ and play the waiting game. The longer the Knicks take to trade Carmelo Anthony, the less they're going to be able to get back for him. His value is going to go down week by week as the NBA season goes on. I think the Knicks are going to have to pull the trigger quickly if they want the most for him. If you ask me, I will say that I do believe Carmelo Anthony will be traded before the October 17th opening night date. I just don't see no reason for the Knicks to bring him into the season. He doesn't want to be there. He clearly wants to leave. At some point, you're going to have to move him. I think why not go ahead and just move him now, get the most you can back in exchange for him, and then that helps both teams involved. The Houston Rockets, they'll have him earlier, and then whatever the third team is, they'll probably be happy as well. Now, in other news, Tony Parker, he got injured during the postseason last year. It looks like he is still 4 to 5 months away from returning to NBA action. That is definitely going to hurt the San Antonio Spurs a little bit. They've been really quiet this offseason. I assume the Spurs want to make a ton of more moves than they end up making, but they stayed very, very quiet. You would have to think San Antonio has something up their sleeves, especially as we go through this season and the next year, a ton of free agents. You think San Antonio is going to try to make a move for LeBron James. They're going to try to make a move for another top player, but they've been very quiet. But Tony Parker, he will be out for 4 to 5 more months. Anthony Davis, he's been reassured by the New Orleans Pelicans that he will not be traded. Now, I don't see any reason for the Pelicans to move on from their experiment just yet. Bringing in Anthony Davis with DeMarcus Cousins, I think that is a very good front court. DeMarcus Cousins has been there a year. There are rumors that he might go and play with John Wall in Washington if things don't work out with him in New Orleans. But I think he really enjoys playing with Anthony Davis. I think he really enjoys the city of New Orleans. And if the Pelicans could get everything right and they have a full year, they have a full training camp to get everything situated, I think the New Orleans Pelicans have something here with both Davis and DeMarcus Cousins in that front court. There is no other front court that is competing with them at this moment. I think they can finally make some noise, but they have to have this full training camp together, and they just have to have some more games underneath their belt. I think Anthony Davis staying is good news for both him and DeMarcus Cousins, because if the Pelicans moved Anthony Davis, I'm pretty sure DeMarcus Cousins will be gone as well. So this is definitely a good move for all parties involved. I'm excited to see both of them play together for an entire season this year. I think it will be good. Now, speaking of games and speaking of the NBA still, they released the opening schedule as well as the Christmas Day games. And we have some pretty good games. The opening night is going to be the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors. Houston, they revamped their entire roster pretty much. Bringing in Chris Paul was a good move. If they're able to have Carmelo Anthony opening night, this will be an even better game. The Golden State Warriors, they definitely reloaded as well, bringing all their key pieces back, added Nick Young as well. I'm excited to see what the Golden State Warriors could do. That is going to be your opening night game. Lonzo Ball's debut is going to be against the Los Angeles Clippers, obviously in LA. That's going to be a pretty good game as well. Lakers Clippers, they've been having very good games back and forth the last couple of years since the Clippers have emerged as a top team. They're no longer a top team in my opinion, but this should be a very good game. Now for the Christmas Day games, this should be an exciting day as well. You have the New York Knicks versus the Philadelphia 76ers on your first game on Christmas Day, but then you have the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Golden State Warriors. Will Kyrie Irving be involved in this game? I'm not quite sure, but even if Kyrie isn't still with the Cavs, it should still be a very good game to watch. Cavs Warriors, we all know the Cavs won last year when they played the Warriors on Christmas Day. Another good matchup is the Washington Wizards versus the Boston Celtics, two top teams in the Eastern Conference. I like the Washington Wizards, but they've always struggled against the Boston Celtics. So will they be able to get over that hump and start beating the Boston Celtics on a regular basis? We'll end up finding out on Christmas Day. We have the Houston Rockets and the OKC Thunder. Westbrook versus James Harden and Chris Paul, a rematch of last year's first round of the NBA playoffs. That should be a good game because we know the Thunder, they were able to get Paul George. The Rockets were able to get Chris Paul. Both teams improved the roster, and they will be playing on Christmas Day. Then the final game, the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers, Lonzo Ball, very young team, but the Timberwolves, a very, very talented young team as well. A lot of people will say they're the most talented young team in the NBA. Karl Anthony Towns, he's going to have a big year this year. We're still going to see what the Lakers will be able to do. I think Lonzo Ball will be decent. We'll see what Julius Randle will be able to do. We'll see the steps Brandon Ingram took this offseason. See if he could put everything together and he can have a great year as well. So two young teams are going to close out the Christmas Day games. I think it should be exciting to watch, and I'm really excited to actually see it. But that is pretty much everything that has happened since the last podcast. You guys, a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, Carmelo Anthony, he's going to be the talk. We're going to see what happens for the Houston Rockets. They're going to go ahead and make a push to try to get him. Expect talks to really heat up, especially over this weekend as they try to get some sort of deal done. You're going to hear a ton of rumors all over the place this weekend as well as these two teams try to get a trade done. But that is pretty much everything. As always, you guys, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at DLloydNBA. If you're not already subscribed to me on my YouTube channel as well, make sure you guys go over and do that at DLloydNBA. I go ahead and I post all these news in a quicker fashion. You guys will be able to stay up to date and you'll be able to see everything that's going around the NBA. But that is everything I have for Friday, August 11th. I hope you guys have a fantastic Friday. I will see you all on Monday.